Hi, welcome to Building Healthy Habits for Kids. My name is Bracha Kopstick. I am a registered dietitian and I help children and young adults develop healthy eating habits and a good relationship with food and body to nourish their growth and development and feel confident and comfortable eating well, free of shame and guilt. I have no disclosures for today. Today's learning objectives are understanding the importance of building healthy habits in kids and appreciate how these habits benefit short and long-term well-being. We will be able to recognize the effect digestion has on kids' health, recognize the effect healthy habits have on digestion, and identify 5 nutrition habits to build and 3 non-nutrition habits to build. Before we can even get into what are those healthy habits, let's talk about what are healthy habits. Healthy habits are behaviors that provide benefits for the whole body, physical, emotional, and mental. Healthy habits allow for balance without going to extremes or kids feeling out of control. And these healthy habits that we'll be discussing today will span the lifespan. So we really want kids to learn it now and use these skills forever. The importance, why are we even talking about them? What is the importance of these healthy habits? So they help kids to have a good relationship with food and body. They can prevent eating disorders. They'll teach children to eat in response to the body's needs. This can then in turn help nourish growth and development, help kids meet their nutritional requirements, result in good digestion and overall health and well-being. Let's talk about what is digestion. So digestion is when food is traveling mechanically from the mouth and leaving the body through the rectum. As food is broken down, the nutrients are extracted from the food and it's used for all the body's functionings. When digestion doesn't go well, it can result in physical discomfort like gas and bloating and constipation, diarrhea, abdominal pain, things that we may or may not be familiar with. It can also affect our eating and other behaviors. For example, if you know that you're going to be having discomfort later on in the day, you may choose to skip breakfast or not eat in the morning. Say your child is experiencing diarrhea, they might not go on a play date because they don't want to be having diarrhea at a friend's home. And you might not want to be social if you're feeling gassy and bloated. So digestion can really have an effect on the way we eat and on the way we behave. Now, it can also affect our mood. So obviously, if we are feeling uncomfortable, that's going to affect how we feel about, our overall mood. But there's also something called the gut-brain axis. And that is the connection between our gut and our brain and our emotion and our feelings. So our gut microbes produce neurotransmitters, they produce hormones and metabolites that can all affect our mood. And so that really has a clear connection between gut and mood. So digestion and mood with those different metabolites that are produced in the gut itself. So we can see clearly that there is quite a connection between digestion and health. So let's obviously talk about those healthy habits for digestion and health. And we're going to go into each of these specifically. So what are these healthy habits that we're talking about, and how are they going to improve our digestion and our health? So listing them off, these healthy habits are eating frequently, drinking enough, including fiber, enjoying fat, celebrating variety, getting active, sleep, and stress management. Oops. Okay, so eating frequently. We want kids to be eating every 2 to 4 hours. So that's meals and snacks. The time range is going to vary depending on the age of your child and the amount of food that's eaten at each eating opportunity. Eating frequently prevents grazing, that constant snacking or eating, where we just kind of nibble, nibble, nibble. Having a set time of eating, like what times when we eat and we stop eating, helps kids to recognize their feelings of hunger and fullness, because we want to eat, we want to feel that fullness, and then we want that fullness to gradually decrease as digestion continues, and then start feeling hunger again. So we really want to have these set times of eating and set times for not eating, so that this digestive system can rest, it can digest, we can start feeling our hunger again, and then go on and eat some more food. Hydration is fluids. It's water, but it's also other drinks, it's soups, it's popsicles, it's other fluid type foods. Hydration is really important because fluid helps move things around the body. It assists in all parts of digestion, most noticeably preventing constipation, but it also helps with moving all of those digested nutrients to the parts of the body where they are needed. So we really want to stay hydrated, drinking frequently, helping kids to drink frequently and often, so that they can be fully benefiting from the nutrients that are digested, and to keep things flowing nicely in preventing constipation. Then we come to fiber. Those are the fruits, the vegetables, whole grains, beans, pulses. Fiber helps with satiety and feeling full. It also helps with digestion in both bulking up and speeding, either speeding up or slowing down digestion, depending on the types of fiber that we're eating. But definitely we want to be including a variety or a substantial amount of fiber in our children's day-to-day to help with that satiety and to help with digestion. It also helps feed the gut microbiome. So our gut has a whole microorganism, and they are so beneficial for our body, and we'll talk about it some more. But these microbiota all need to eat, and one of those things they eat is fiber, also called prebiotics, which help them thrive and grow. So we really want to include fiber so that we can feed the gut microbiome and get all of the benefits of a healthy gut. And we can do that by eating more fiber and helping our kids to eat more fiber. And then there's fat. So fat is found in nuts, seeds, oils, animal products. Fat also helps with satiety and feeling full. It decreases food cravings. And fat is often something that we might fear, but it's crucial to have in children's diets. It's also essential for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins. So sometimes I'll have parents feel that, they don't want to add anything to their child, say fruit or vegetables, like a dip, but those are actually going to make your fruit and vegetable vitamins more accessible and absorbent in the body. So we kind of want to include some fat with each of our meals, especially if there's going to be a fruit or vegetable in there, so that we can better absorb all of those really helpful and necessary vitamins and minerals. There are also a few fats that our body can't make, and so we do need to be eating them. So those are the omega-3s, omega-6s, from like fatty fish and hemp seeds. Some people do take a supplement, which can be really necessary if you're not eating some of those foods, which children often find difficult to eat. But like I said, fat is to teach them not to fear fat, but rather to include fat. Fat also helps with slowing gastric emptying, which again relates back to that feeling fullness and that satiety. And then there's a variety. So we want kids eating a variety of foods because all foods have different vitamins, minerals, nutrients in differing amounts. And we can only get to those differing nutrients by eating differing amounts or types of food. So for ensuring that kids are getting enough of all the right and important nutrients, we really want them eating a variety of food. This also helps to diversify the gut microbiome. So this is what I was talking about before, how our gut is created of microorganisms, and all of those feed on different types of food. So in order to have a varied and thriving gut, we're going to need to feed those microorganisms kind of a variety of food. So increased variety means increased gut variety, and increased gut variety is better health. So we really want to be supporting our children in getting more and different types of food into their diet. And then there's activity. There are so many benefits for children to be active. There's building strong muscles and bones. There's the cardiovascular health and circulation, reduce the risk of chronic health concerns. There is less likelihood of tobacco, alcohol, and drug use. It can result in improved mental health and well-being. And it can also increase digestive speed because the digestive tract is a muscle. So by being active and building muscle, we can improve our digestion. We want to help children find activities that they enjoy and to have them associate movement with enjoyment rather than with guilt or force or shame, because that can really result in stress and in avoidance and really just a bunch of negative emotions that don't lend themselves to health and well-being. So we want to be showing kids how to be active in a fun way, in an enjoyable way, in a way that feels good in the body. And one of the ways we can do that is to take rest days without shame, to allow the body time to rest, recover, heal, so that you can go back to being active without injury, without it being too tired, and again, without forcing yourself, but rather enjoying it. Now, sleep is something that is really important. In sleep, neurotransmitters are released. So neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, those feel-good hormones. Sleep helps to strengthen and repair muscles. It boosts the immune system, and it can decrease inflammation and the risk of chronic illness. Good sleep can lessen the chances of developing digestive problems. Teaching your children how to be a good sleeper is a really healthy and important skill for them to learn. In the book, Generation Sleepless by Turgeon and Wright, they have 5 habits of happy sleepers, and it uses the mnemonic of sleep. It stands for set a sleep time, lay out your 3 routines: wind down, bedtime routine, morning routine, extract sleep stealers, eliminate light, and practice a sleep-friendly daytime. So with these 5 steps, your child can become a better sleeper and benefit and reap the health benefits of a good sleep. And then there's stress management. And contrary to popular belief, kids do have stress. The gut-brain axis is the connection between the gut and the brain. And basically, the emotions, our feelings, our experience all have that clear connection and affect digestion. So for example, if you can envision yourself having that fight or flight response, that those butterflies in your stomach or that freeze response, your digestion is stopping or at least slowing down, because that's not an important thing to do when you're going to be running away. Like, we're not needing to digest. So when we feel stress and get into that fight or flight response, digestion is either slowing down or stopping completely. And even with minor stressors, there can be temporary disrupted digestion, like abdominal pain, and that will affect, and that's digestion. So we really want to teach children stress management, use some of these techniques and have digestion continue in a healthy manner. Some of these stress management tools would be like breathing techniques, grounding tools, and you can find examples of these everywhere. Everyone has their own like swear by techniques and tools. But journaling, meditating, gentle movement to manage their stress. And now what about probiotics? So probiotics help. Okay, so we know that there are live microorganisms that populate the gut. I've been talking about those a whole bunch, and how we can feed those microorganisms with different types of food. Probiotics are those live microorganisms that we can ingest to populate the gut. Different strains of bacteria are used for specific issues. So if you are considering a probiotic, you would want to work with your health professional team to ensure that you're getting the right strain for the right issue. And of course, ensuring that they're age appropriate. So Culturelle, who is today's sponsor, makes a kids specific daily probiotic. And the strain that is used in that probiotic has been studied to benefit, amongst other things, childhood eczema, abdominal pain, and irritable bowel syndrome. So if your child is suffering from any of those, it might be appropriate for them to take this kids daily probiotic. So in conclusion, we have learned today that healthy habits can benefit kids in the short term, their well-being, their growth and development, their digestion, and in their long term, again, their development, but building those habits and skills. So we want to model these behaviors, make them a part of your family home environment so that your kids can use these skills today and tomorrow and for the rest of their lives to become healthy adults. And thank you for joining me today.